Hey, what's up, Warriors? Dr. B here. Hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. One of the hardest conversations that I have to have with patients, or really with anybody, is, you know, you're never going to be able to get your health back the way it was when you were 20. People come in, they're 60 plus. They kind of rolled the dice, Russian roulette with their health for many, many years, and then it's like they're in chronic pain. They've got a ton of heart problems. They've got a ton of gut problems, and they just want it to go away right away. Um, and that's just not the case. And oftentimes, like they'll never be able to have full recovery of something. And it's a hard conversation to have, because we don't want to think that, hey, I don't have to brush my teeth and I'll always have good looking teeth. Like that's just not the case, right? I mean, if you don't take care of your spine and you don't, get regular chiropractic, if you don't move well and eat good food and, get proper rest, like your body is like a car, and if you don't get routine oil changes, if you don't rotate the tires, if you don't change the fluids, like your car is going to blow up. Like our bodies are no different. And, I see this especially with men. We're providers, we're protectors. We're just like Mach 6, I'll take care of everybody else. And then when I have time, I will work on myself. And it's probably one of the most horrible mindsets you could ever have because nothing is worse than the dad, the father, or the grandfather that can't be the dad, the father, or the grandfather that he wants to be because he's in such chronic pain. Nobody wants their grandkids or their kids to be like, oh, dad's, angry and upset because his back hurts. Dad's, can't hunt with me because he can't climb up a deer stands because he's too fat. Um, Dad can't go on vacation anymore or do what we want to do because he's got to carry around the oxygen tank or whatever it is. It's a sad thing. So, my 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 wishes and my hopes and my prayers for you gentlemen is that um, is to think about this is to build health, right? But you got to think about this. If you're not building health, you're building disease. If you're not building your marriage, then you're building divorce. If you're not building something, then it's dying. And so health is not something that's just like this. It's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Um, and I think that's kind of why the Warrior 40 is impactful because it's not easy. Um, I think I'm not going to sit here and sell you on something that is easy. Oh, it's, just three simple steps, like, diving into your faith and digging up some things that need to be brought to the surface. The purification process is a hard process to go through. Um, if you're not in very good shape, the first couple of weeks of the Warrior 40 is going to be tough. Like you're going to be sore, you're going to hurt, you're probably going to hate me, you're going to hate, the people that put it together. You're going to crave sugar, you're going to crave all the bad stuff, Mountain Dew, whatever. But if you keep your head down and you're consistent and you have a why that's bigger than yourself, and then you'll get through the storm. And you don't have to be the dad or the grandfather or the whatever that's missing out on opportunities to have fun with their kids, their grandkids, and that's what I want. People say, why do you try to stay fit? Why are you so passionate about this kind of stuff? It's, I want my wife, to constantly look at me and be happy with the man that she's with, physically, spiritually, relationally. I'm not perfect. My wife and I go through ups and downs and things like that, but we care, and it's a priority. Fitness wise, like I love, being fit. It allows me to do a lot of things that I want to do. I can do whatever I want to do, really, because I'm fit enough to do that. If I want to go hike up a mountain, I can go hike up a mountain. If I want to put my kids on my back and throw them up in the air, I can. It's really cool whenever your sons or your daughters are like, "Hey, Dad, I bet you can't do that," and you do it. Versus like, I'm not even gonna ask Dad because I know he can't do that. Um, your kids should look at you like superhero, and you got to be healthy enough to be able to do that. So, Don't play Russian roulette with your health. I don't have time. It's not a really good excuse. Everybody has time. You just don't make time. I don't have enough money. Here's the thing about money is that you put your money where your priority is. I kind of joke all the time that, when someone comes in the office and says I can't afford care, those are the same people that will swing by Chick-fil-A 4 or 5 days a week. They're the same people that, when they get their Social Security check or whatever, they'll go to Best Buy and buy an 80-inch Samsung that they don't need. You put your money where your priority is, and I'll tell you, not just because I'm a health professional and whatever, but like the greatest investment that you could ever make is in your health, spiritually, relationally, physically. Those are the things that you should be spending your money on. The size of your house doesn't matter as long as you can get from point A to point B safely in a car. Like those things don't matter. Invest in your health, and if you're a guy out there who's struggling, invest and to stewarding over um, your faith, your family, and your fitness. And I can't guarantee you a whole lot, but I can guarantee you that if you invest in those things, then you're never going to lose. You're always going to be better because of that. If you invest in the stock market, if you invest into Bitcoin, or if you invest into, I don't know. I can't tell you that those are always going to be great. Sometimes they'll be great, sometimes they won't be great. But if you exercise every day, get in God's word, eat good food, have a date night, and you care, you're always going to be better for that. So warrior40challenge.com. Take the challenge. You're not going to regret it. Have a good day. See you guys.